Viewer discretion is advised.
Right. So, just to clarify why the, yeah, it looks a little bit weird. No, we'll do that later. I was planning to, watch something while doing this, but it's just distracting me way too much. Yeah, I'm basically just recording myself hatching 60 more. I've already hatched 60 Wooloo eggs. I'm trying to get a 6 IV one. But just in case a shiny pops out, I'm recording the next 60. So I have a clip of a reaction of getting one, you know? It's, I don't know, I've done it before. I never actually get anything, so I'm always deleting them. But it's worth it on my end. Just to make sure that I have a full record of what I hatch. And what shinies I get, so yeah. We're at 60. The next stream will be back to Galarian Ponyta. This was just because I was breeding for a 6 IV Wooloo, and because the way I do that is actually the same way as normal Masada methoding. There is every chance a shiny could pop out, so I'm covering my bases here. But let's hatch some eggs. I'm genuinely just hoping for a 6 IV one for breeding on stream. I will keep the count that I have at the end of this, and when I start hunting for Wooloo, I'll go from where I was with this counter. If anyone asks, I'll be like, how are you at 120? I was like, oh, because when I was breeding for a 6 IV Wooloo, I was still technically Masada methoding, so I've hatched 120 Wooloo eggs of this batch, essentially, so yeah. I mean, it's not the same parent, but that doesn't really matter. From the last shiny. Although in those Wooloo's case, it's in between shinies, which is a little weird. I know that really doesn't make sense. Really doesn't make sense at all. So, yeah, there is every chance that, this is just going to be another video that I delete once it's finished, but we shall see. And if it is, you know, this itself will never see the light of day. But I'll have 120 eggs on the Wooloo counter when I get around to doing it. I'll share my thoughts on Shiny Wooloo. I love Wooloo as a Pokemon, I think it's fucking adorable. The Shiny... I don't know. Kinda on the fence with it. For some reason, for me, inverting the colors just didn't quite work out as well as it probably could have. Honestly, I kind of feel like the white they use for the face is far, far too light. Because it's just, like, again, it's a Pokemon, it's not real, but, like, they're trying to base it off of actual, you know, Highland sheep. And their faces are never that white. They're usually more of a kind of an off-white grey. So, you know, seeing one with bright white face, you know, face fur, it just doesn't seem right to me. It's usually kind of an off-white grey. Sorry, to clarify, if it seems like I may think I'm... If it seems like I may God. It seems like I'm giving the... If I'm given the impression that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to sheep faces... I know, it sounds weird. I'm from a place that's really a crofting community, so like farmers and stuff like that are all over the place around here. So, you know, I mean, I live on a croft. We have parks that are part of our land that we rent out. So I've been near sheep all my goddamn life. I don't work with them personally, but I've been near them my entire life, so I kind of know what a sheep looks like. I mean, by no means am I... Oh, okay, I've got 2 Chloes again. Beautiful. I'll have to go and battle her at some point. But, by no means am I saying that, Game Freak were wrong to do it this way. I mean, you know, it's a creative design choice in their product. And I don't hate the shiny, I just feel like... In fact, I love the shiny, I think it's brilliant. I just think that they maybe went a bit far with making the, fur on Wooloo's face bright bloody white. It just doesn't... It doesn't look quite right to me. Puts me off a little. I mean, honestly, if its face fur when shiny had been of similar color to its braids, when those are braids, that would have that would have made a lot more sense to me. At least that would have looked a bit more right. But no, I do love Wooloo, and I love Wooloo's shiny. I think it's a brilliant shiny. I just that little bit of it's a brilliant idea of a shiny. Taking white Pokemon that's mostly white with a bit of black, and making it mostly black with a bit of white. It's one of those simple shinies that really works. It's just the white was a bit too bright for me. But I get they just took the white from its wool and put it on its face, and vice versa, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. Sorry for all the yawning. I'm actually probably going to bed almost right after this. I just happened to get 2 boxes of eggs, and like I'll hatch those and see if I get a 6 IV one for breeding with, or a shiny one if I'm ever so lucky. Although I'm tempted to say unlucky, because I don't like hatching shinies off stream. I hate doing that, because it doesn't feel right. Which is why, I get kind of scared of, IV breeding. Simply because of the fact that there's every chance it could throw out a shiny at me. And that kind of terrifies me, because I'm like, well, if I get this shiny, what the fuck? No. Also, I know I've bred Wooloo already at one point. Yeah, just in case anyone's, this entire video will never be going up, so I don't know why I'm explaining a lot of stuff, but if anyone were curious, oh, fuck off, Wooloo. Yeah, I'm tired, okay? No, if anyone were curious as to why I'm breeding for shiny Wooloo when for a 6 IV Wooloo when I've already got one, I used it in my playthrough, you may notice the fact that these Wooloos are in moon balls. So I ended up getting a double raid a while back. A 4 IV double. And because, you know, max raids are guaranteed capture as long as it's not promoted. You know, for the person who finds it. I threw a Moonball at that double because, well, the Moonball is my favorite Pokeball. I love the design of it. I think it's a brilliant little Pokeball. Yeah, functionally it's not that good, I'll admit that much. The effect is kinda just pointless. Because, I think there's a pretty big multiplier to Pokemon that evolve via Moonball. Fair enough. Via Moonstone, sorry, and oh dear god, that Gengar just saw me. The problem with that is, there's like 3 Pokemon families that evolve with the Moonstone. In fact, is it, I don't even. I think it might even just be 2. I don't remember how many it is. Not many Pokemon evolve via Moonstone. Clefairy and Jigglypuff. Is that it? Is that all that evolves via Moonstone? No. Sorry, Nidorino and Nidorina also evolve via Moonstone, so there's 2 more. What else? I can't remember. There isn't much that evolves via Moonstone, which makes the Moonstone, although a beautifully designed Pokeball, and I will admit, it's style over substance with the Moonball for me. I love its design. It's functionally worthless. You can use it on 4 Pokemon. Well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can use it on, like, 8 Pokemon. But no. You can only use it on 4 Pokemon. Unless it counts for the pre-evolutions and evolutions, in which case you can use it on 16 Pokemon. No, on 12 Pokemon, sorry. Being, Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Nidorina, Nidorino, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Igglybuff, Cleffa, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, and Clefable. That's kinda it. It's just like, why? Why bother? I honestly kind of wish instead of making the Dusk Ball, like they did, they just made the Moon Ball, what the Dusk Ball does, because Dusk Ball has a really good effect, and the Moon Ball is one of those Pokeballs where it's like, oh, its style is so much better than everything else. I would love it if the Moon Ball had just become the Dusk Ball. Like how the Dream Ball just became this Pokemon is asleep, therefore better catch rate ball. If the Dusk Ball just hadn't been brought into existence and they just brought back the Moon Ball in Gen 4 and said, okay, now the Moon Ball, it catches Pokemon better at night and in dark places, that would have been like, hell yeah. Oh my god. That's not a good thing, Wooloo. No! Oh, and there's a 6IV one. Okay, I need to mark that real quick. Hold up. What are you? I'll piss off your... Of course. Yeah, I'm still gonna mark it, because it's worth doing. But yeah, okay, so that's one 6IV one. I'll have to ability capsule it, because it's got a terrible, it's got Runaway. Isn't good, but... Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. I can just ability capsule the shiny one when I get that. Also, yeah, if you're wondering the way I mark it, I always mark it that way because, I mark red good and blue bad because that's how it's done for natures. Red is the stat that gets boosted and blue is the stat that gets lowered. So, for IVs, high stats are red, low stats are blue. Or, in other words, the way I mark it is perfect stats or 31s are red and perfectly bad stats or zeros are blue. The 31, if it's 31 or 30, it's marked as red, and if it's a 0, it's marked as blue. And yeah, I'll also clarify there. Yeah, if you're wondering, if you've gotten access to Jugs function and you don't understand IVs, and you're wondering what does this mean? My attack is best. My attack is pretty good, very good, decent, and no good. The ones you want to look for are best and no good. Best means that it's maximum, it's at 31. And fantastic means it's 30, and that's one off of being maximum. Then you've got no good, which means it's at 0. Like, literally 0. So the worst it can possibly be. You've got decent. I believe decent's the lowest one, and I believe that means it's 1 to 9? I think. Basically, it's single digits. Then you got pretty good, which I think is 10 to 19. So the first set of double digits, and then the second set of double digits would be very good. I think 20 to 29. I don't know if those are the exact numbers for that. I could be wrong. Why am I having this conversation when this video may never actually see the light of day? I don't know. But I'm fairly sure, yeah, it's 0, 1 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 and 31. I think. I don't know. I don't look into the code for Pokemon. I have no idea if that's actually what those means. I haven't actually looked it up or anything like that. I just assume those are the ranges because that's what would make sense to me. Plus, nobody gives a shit about anything that's in decent, pretty good, or very good. It's all about no good, fantastic, and best. And most people don't give a shit about fantastic. They think that's not worth it, so it's about no good and best. However, fantastic is functionally the same as best. It's literally 1 point difference. So, you know, it's a single stat point of difference. So, that single stat point could be what costs you a speed tire, or costs you the first turn or something like that. But in most stats, it's not really going to make a difference. The one it makes the most difference in is HP or speed. Because literally 1 HP could be what saves you from fainting and not fainting. Speed, obviously, if you say had... I don't know. So you had 2 Obstagoons, both basically identical. You know, both trained max attack, max speed, both guts, both holding a flame orb, both no cross chop. Don't even know if Obstagoon gets cross chop. I'm just saying that for an example move. So yeah, both these Obstagoon, they have same EV training, same held item, the same ability, and the same... Okay, for some reason my, Sorry about the noise. For some reason my, external hard drive decided to disconnect for no reason. And then reconnect. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so you have these 2 Obstagoon, right? Both Guts, Flame Orb. So the Flame Orb was already activated for the sake of it. They both hard switched in each other. They both have Cross Chop. They both have Max Attack, Max Speed. And they're both IV bred, so they both have really good IVs. But one Obstagoon has a best in speed, a 31 in speed. The other has a fantastic in speed, or 30 in speed. The one with 31 in speed will always, 100% of the time, move first. Because it is 1 point of speed faster than the other one. That's just how that works. That is how IVs work. It is literally 31 stat points at level 100. That's the only caveat, is at level 100, it's exactly 31 stat points. At level 50, it's usually 15. So I think at level 50, which is the level you battle at online, normally, Fantastic versus Best makes no functional difference. There is no functional difference. Unless, for some reason, the game has been like, hey, this one gets 16 and that one gets 15 points. But I think it's the same. I think they count as 15. So, yeah, kind of just realized my own hypothetical example here is completely fucking bullshit. Because it only works at level 100 and no one battles at level 100, everyone battles at level 50. But yeah, these 2 Obstagoon, technically, the one with best should always move first. However, at level 50, they will have the same speed stat because instead of counting as 30 or 31 stat points, they both, I believe, count as 15. So, I could look into that, but I'm lazy. Pokemon's a game of maths. just FYI if you weren't aware of that. There's a lot of maths behind Pokemon, and like one kind of funny anecdote a lot of Pokemon players have for battling, is what they'll go into battling thinking it's just it's like I went into battling believing I was just in there to have a good I went to competitive battling. And I thought, hey, I was just gonna have a bit of fun. It's Pokemon. There's nothing serious. It's not like it's gonna be it's nothing complicated, and then it's just like, But then I found out you have to do all this maths. Ugh! Like, if you ever see a competitive battler saying, like, saying for instance, say they've seen what a move does, or they've seen what move the Pokemon has, and they say, oh, I should live on about 10 health from this hit, unless he crits, right? That's not just a guess. That's because they know how much damage the move will do based on the damage calculation or prior experience. But you can actually calculate exactly how much damage a move will do. There is... it doesn't always work out that way, because there's a thing known as damage roll, which means that the damage can either be higher or lower depending on basically just RNG. Which, yeah, I know. Becking RNG of bloody course. But yeah, unfortunately, there is a factor of RNG in damage as well. I don't actually know how damage rolls work exactly. I think it's literally just it generates a random number and compares that to a string or something and just says if number is equal to or higher, add the difference into the damage, probably, because the damage rolls are like, say, I don't know, 140 to 163 or some shit for damage. It's weird. I don't know what I don't exactly know how damage rolls works. I just know it's some sort of random number generator. Some sort of RNG! Everyone's favourite thing about Pokemon. The fucking luck factor. Oh dearie me. By what spawns... Roselia spawns you in a sandstorm. Okay, good to know. I didn't press it twice, you utter pillock. Bah! I'm a sheep. The only thing that's going to make a functional difference, I should explain this all again, it's not really going to matter. The only real difference, besides getting a clip out of this, that this is going to have if I catch a shiny, hatch a shiny, is the recent shinies will be updated to show Dreepy, the 756 Dreepy, and the however many Wooloo. They'll be within 120 unless because I've gotten a 6IV one, that's why I won't be breeding any more eggs until I breed it on stream. So, yeah. Between 88 and 120 Wooloo eggs, Wooloo will replace the 536 Dreepy. So my layout will then have a shiny Wooloo. Which will be interesting. Because I'll get on, someone will see that the shiny Wooloo's on my layout and be like, when the fuck did you get a Wooloo? And I'll be like, oh, I was breeding for a 6IV1, I happened to have I happened to hatch a shiny one. So I put it on my layout because it was one of the most recent shinies I got. And they're like, oh. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really want the shiny, but I at least recorded it just in case. So I do have my reaction, you know? I still have a reaction that I can add to a compilation at some point. Which is what I plan to do with all my shiny reactions. That's why I try and clip them all. Which is one of the reasons why I need to go and download all my Let's Go episodes of shiny hunting, so that I can have, the clips of me getting shinies in Let's Go, and then I can add those to a big compilation. I do plan to go back and finish my Let's Go Living Dex at some point, but it's just kind of low on the priority list because obviously right now on the priority list I'm doing a lot of shiny hunting and Sword, because Sword, that's really my only reason. And then you've got... Then you've got... I have to get back to Rescue Team DX, so there's that. I have to eventually get back to recording Heart Gold. The only reason I haven't done that is just because I've been super fucking tired, and kind of depressed, not gonna lie, so there's not been much motivation, and, you know, the way I was kind of handling it was I would record before going to bed, after I'd streamed, and then I would, edit it the next day. The problem with that is I haven't been streaming as regularly, so, you know, I'm not awake, I'm not alert, I'm not hyped up to do content as much, which is one of the reasons why I'm trying to get back into streaming properly, you know, regularly first, because, honestly, having a good stream, like, you know, being pumped after having a good stream was really motivating me to record. I would finish streaming, I'd like have an hour of downtime or something, and then I would record 2 parts of Heart Gold, because I was pumped, I was ready, I just had a really good stream of, most of the time, Rescue Team DX, because they kind of started at roughly the same time, and, so yeah, I'd have this good RTDX stream, and I'd record Heart Gold. Because I was on a high, I was like, yes, I have this fun time streaming, and I want to keep the good times going. I want to record, and I want to have this ready to be edited, so I can upload it on Tuesday and Thursday, and then the global pandemic hit, and at the same time, my dog died and my granny died, and that fucking killed me. It's really hard getting back to it. I like how the first time I've actually ever explained this out loud. It's on a video that no one is ever going to goddamn see. Oh, for fuck's sakes. No, maybe people will see this. I might upload this just because of this. Because it might just... It might just explain what the fuck happened to Heart Gold. It's not cancelled by any... God, sorry. Not cancelled by any means. Just not had the heart to do it. I've not been streaming regularly enough to have the drive and... Oh. Sorry, Edge. Because when you finally get something out in the open, start trying to deal with it. That's when it's hardest. Because you're not just hiding from it anymore. But yeah, that's where the kind of semi-regular streaming and uploading went. A lot of shit happened all at the same time, and it just completely killed all motivation and all drive. And I am really trying to get back to it because I want to do it, but it's so damn easy to distract yourself from actually doing what you want to do, what you need to do, when you stop doing it. Sorry. I mean, it really kind of, yeah. When you fall out of the rhythm, it can be so goddamn hard to get back into it. I wasn't even in a fucking rhythm. And then there's the fact now that I've been, you know, streaming the shiny hunting on Sword with ZG and Celebi, and they're both American, which, you know, there's a 5-6 hour time difference there. Which means we start stupidly fucking late whenever we stream together. Which is fine, but obviously I don't like the fact that I'm having to start so late. But I can't ask them to start too early because they have other things they need to do. And then there's also the thing that we play other games together, and that's one of the reasons why we don't always stream. I don't always stream, or we don't always make it to do the Pokemon streams, is because we're doing something else. We're playing a game together or something. We're having a bit of fun, and we're distracted, and we just forget about it, or it gets so late that we don't want to do it anymore. That's why we sometimes start at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, British time, around midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern. It's because we're doing something else. And then we'll be like, okay, we'll start at such and such a time, and then, so we'll leave what we're doing, and then we'll get distracted by other stuff, things will come up, and we won't be able to get what we were trying to do. Fuck, you know. So I'm not sure what I plan to do when it comes to... Because I want to stream earlier, but I also don't want to not play the games with my friends that I play and hang out with my mates and all that, because... oh, it's something you need to do, especially now. Like... when it comes to, okay, you know what? Real fucking talk about this goddamn pandemic and the lockdowns and that. I'm fucking lucky when it comes to this shit. Like, yeah, the pandemic hit at the exact same time as my dog dying and my granny dying. That's not lucky, that's fucking shit, that's horrible. But when it comes to how this pandemic affects people, I'm one of the lucky ones. I wasn't a social person before this fucking well hit. You know, I stayed in all day, I slept during the day, you know, up at night, I stream, I talk to my friends who are on the other side of the world, but I'm on the internet constantly, that's who I communicate with. So, like, being stuck inside the house, it's what I normally do anyways. I feel so much for the people who this is really affecting so really badly. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. Like, for some people, this is the worst thing ever. But personally, for me, like, yeah, the pandemic's affecting me, but nowhere near in the same way it's affecting other people. And definitely not for the same reasons. I mean, really, the biggest way this pandemic has affected me was because my granny died pretty much right as it kicked off. Like, genuinely, not long after the pandemic kicked off, my granny turned ill, she went in the hospital, she went to a care home, and she passed away. She didn't have coronavirus, so, you know, it wasn't that. It was just, you know, she happened to be hitting the end. And, yeah, people die and we get sad, we have, you know, we remember them, we have funerals, stuff like that. But the problem was, there's a global pandemic on, and we're all limited in what we're allowed to do. And that affects funerals. And now, I myself went to the funeral for my granny. I was a pallbearer. I mean, that wasn't the problem. It was the fact that there were so many people who should have had the freedom to come to that funeral. And they couldn't, because they don't live up here. They're not close by, you're not allowed large gatherings of people. For instance, there's my older cousin, like, you know, the other grandchild to my granny. And the one that's been around longer than me. She wasn't allowed to come home. Sorry. No, she wasn't allowed to come home for her grand's funeral. I can't imagine what that was like for her. One of the reasons I'm so glad I never moved away from home. I got to be here. If I moved down south and, I don't know, gone to uni or something, I wouldn't have been allowed to come home. But that would have been that. Okay, well that's not... okay, I can't really say that. That's not entirely true. Because one of my other cousins, my younger cousin, the one that's been on my channel before, because, you know, we game together and sometimes we've played stuff together on Twitch and that. He's actually come back home up here to where, like, to the island I live on, because his uni, he was taking a university course and that's been suspended because of, you know, a coronavirus. So he was allowed to come home, but that was more because he had nowhere else to go. So they were like, yeah, you come home and you stay with your parent, but you're not allowed to go anywhere else. And, you know, that's just how it works. But you've got the people, but just... There's so many people who have family and friends who are passing away during this time, and the ones who aren't home, they can't come home, say goodbye, and that's a horrible thought. But it happens. The reality we're living in. And that hit our family. Any of you who may, I know this is going to be, you know, my audience is not very big, and likelihood is no one else is sitting through that, but to anyone who may have had this happen in their family, it's okay for it to hurt. It is. My God, does it hurt having that happen? But you're not alone in that. That's like a horrible thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so upset you're not alone in the fact that this happened to your family, but if there's one thing our species does well, it's making things feel better by sharing it. Misery loves company. Never... But it is okay to let it get to you. Find someone, anyone who's willing to listen to what you have to say. Because just getting off your chest can really help. Wow, that was a fucking tangent, but genuinely that's one of the main things that has made coming back to content so goddamn hard. Is despite the fact that socially I'm not that much affected by the pandemic, or the coronavirus pandemic. It has had its toll just through affecting my family. And I'm genuinely sorry that, you know, and if you, for some reason, anyone actually comes back here to watch my videos, my streams, anything like that, I'm sorry that they're late, I'm sorry that they haven't been happening. But that really is my reason. And I hope you can understand that. Sorry, that's condescending. I hope I can get that across. It's not trying to make excuses, it's just I'm realizing this myself right now. I've been puzzling over what has been causing this, because I didn't think it was affecting me that much. I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely did not believe it was affecting me very much. Like the pandemic. And I thought, oh, I'm just having trouble sleeping, so I'm not streaming very early, and so I'm tired when I want to record and stuff like that. But although that might be partially true, what's caused that, what led into that, it's all this, what I've just been talking about. I didn't realize that was what it was. I thought I moved past it already. No, I do apologize that I have not been creating. It's barely that. I don't really create. I fuck around and do bad commentary over myself playing a goddamn video game. How the fuck is that content creation? But I'm sorry that I've not uploaded very much, I've not streamed very much. It's not through lack of wanting to, it's just... My god. I've just not managed it. I mean, I have a plan for what I kind of want to do now. I've just kind of thought of it while I was talking about this, about how I've been streaming light with CG and SarzeLight. And honestly, if it wasn't for that I didn't want to give up on the idea of playing, like, say, Fortnite with my friends and other stuff like that, I might start streaming twice in the same night. Starting off with a shorter stream of Rescue Team DX or something, cutting that off and moving on, stream Sword and Shield with them. At least on nights where they want to stream. On nights where they don't want to stream, I might just play Rescue Team DX, I might just continue Ultra Moon, I don't know. But I definitely need to get back to the more regular streaming, because this not streaming thing is not only not working for you guys, for my audience, who might exist and might not. Sometimes I wonder. That's not a slant to lack of viewers, I just mean, like, sometimes I wonder if all of that's what's been happening on Twitch and YouTube and that has been a fever dream. Because I'm not fucking entertaining, how the hell would that happen? But, not only for you guys is the lack of streams and videos not, you know, it's gonna be annoying, it's not gonna be a good thing. It's not something I want either. It's bad for me, it's not what I want. I want to do more. I started streaming and making videos because I enjoy doing it. Streaming more just because I don't have to stress out about getting something edited and rendered on time to be uploaded at a certain time of day, but like... my god. I think, yeah. I'm probably gonna start doing, double streams on nights where they also want to stream, where I'll just do a shorter stream on Rescue Team DX or something, and then cut that off to go and stream Pokémon with the two of them, you know, Sword and Shield. I think that might be, or Scorching Scarlet if it's with just CG. Because I want to stream more. I just... haven't had the heart. But I do want to reiterate, because I think it's important to say this. If certain things... No. If things, including the virus, including the pandemic, including anything, if anything is affecting you in any way, just try to realize you're not alone. If you have friends, if you have family, colleagues, anyone you can talk to who would listen, please do so. My God, it helps so much. It's something everyone should remember. Find someone you can talk to, because it can make all of the difference. And I have no right to fucking preach this shit, because I never talk to anyone about any of my problems. I never want to burden anyone with them, because they don't need that. Everyone else has got their own problems. I'll be fine. Never think like that, please. Never be like me. If you need to talk to someone, please find someone to talk to. Because getting it out in the air, talking about it, is genuinely the first step to having it get better. It always is. Even though I avoid talking to people about issues like the plague when it comes to me. Oh god, that's a horrible analogy when we've got a fucking plague going about the planet. But, like, I avoid talking about my issues because I don't want to burden people. However, the times that I have talked about issues to people, I always feel better for it. It genuinely helps. I love how this turned from me explaining what the fuck is affecting me and why I've not been recording and that to telling people to get help when they need it. But I think that's the important bit. Yeah, I've explained why I've not done something, but at the end of the day, that's not what matters. What matters is making sure that people who feel like they're not alone, feel like they're alone, know that they're not. You're never alone as long as you can find anyone who will listen. And there's always someone who will listen. Find them. Also, yeah, that's that. No Shawnee Wooloo. We did get a 6IV one though, so I'll be using that for breeding on stream. I'll probably ability capsule it just to be safe. I've been doing a fair bit of battle tower, so I have a fair few BP, so I can get an ability capsule to make it fluffy. But yeah, no shiny. Thank goodness. I prefer to get it on stream, but I'm still gonna post this almost hour-long video because after my rant about base stats not base stats, IVs and that, I got to a topic that was real, that was, at least to me, I think it's important. So I'm definitely going to share it. Sorry about the kind of somber, sad tone of this video, but never really intended to go up in the first place, and then I got into a serious topic that I truly believe needs to be talked about when it happens. Or it needs to be expressed. And again, I'm sorry for the lack of content. I definitely think I'll try and put into action the idea of streaming before I stream with my friends, and then cutting that off and streaming with my friends so that I actually don't always stream stupidly late. Because I definitely want to get back to regular streaming, and when I've had good streams and I'm not tired, or not too tired, I want to record. So maybe I'll also bring back Hard Gold. We'll see what happens. I'm going to see what I can do. But yeah. That's that. Sorry, no shiny in the video, but hey, 6 IV for breeding the shiny once I'm done with Claire and Ponyta. Thank you. For those of you that see this, thank you for listening to me. Just get it off, get everything off my chest. It helped me just realize what the problems were. And it's definitely fucking helped. But genuinely, thank you. And, I'll see you in the next stream, whenever that is. Peace out.